Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So I'm finally going to talk about it. People have been asking for me to talk about it, the entire tournament, and I haven't. Mostly because I kind of don't care about the in-season tournament. I mean, I know it was fun basketball to watch, but as far as winning and losing it, I really didn't care. But I'll talk about it. You guys want me to talk about it, so I'll talk about it. I'll be honest, right off rip, I'm just going to say this. I'm a little annoyed that LeBron won the league MVP, or at least not the league MVP, but the in-season tournament MVP. Because I think I've met people that aren't even Pacers fans or LeBron fans who thought Tyrese Halliburton should have won it. Okay, I've met generalized basketball fans who thought Tyrese Halliburton should have won it. Tyrese Halliburton had to carry a team that had to play the Celtics and the Bucks to get to the fucking finals. Who'd LeBron play? The Pelicans and I think Sacramento or somebody like that. Like, it's just the idea, LeBron still played very well, but the idea that he has Anthony Davis on his fucking team, I'm like, bro, we couldn't at least give the MVP to Tyrese Halliburton, who balled out of his mind the entire time. Like, the whole tournament. It wasn't even just, in the semifinals or, whatever. No, the whole fucking tournament, Tyrese Halliburton balled out. And, even in the games that, early on, since day one of the in-season tournament, Tyrese Halliburton balled the fuck out. And somehow LeBron still fucking wins it. You know what? It is what it is. Honestly, I feel like shit like that, it's like the All-Star game, MVP. It's mostly even guys who play, unless somebody plays out of their mind well, you know what I'm saying? Like the year Stephen Curry, I think, put up 50 or whatever. Unless somebody plays absolutely out of their fucking mind, right? It usually goes to the most popular player on the floor. And that just happened to be LeBron last night. So unfortunately, that's something we'll have to listen to from LeBron fans for the next 50 fucking years, but I digress. It is what it is. I didn't really care much about the in-season tournament because I don't think the winnings are really super significant. I'm actually shocked that teams actually competed in this and, wanted to win it, because I had a feeling this was gonna be like the fucking All-Star game. Luckily, it wasn't. But the Pacers played better than I expected. I think we can all say that, right? The Pacers played better than we all expected. The problem is they got exposed in the finals, in the final game. Going into that game, I had an idea of what they were going to do. I had a feeling the Lakers were going to double Tyrese Halliburton, because once you double team him and, force him to go to somebody else and make the other guys beat you, suddenly the Pacers look like fucking trash, and that's exactly what happened last night. We didn't play defense on anybody really either. Anthony Davis had 40, LeBron had 24, and Austin Reeves had 28. Okay, more than half of their points, almost all their points, came from three fucking players. It's things like this that is why I emphasize defense so much. Myles Turner was a fucking trash can. He fouled out. I think he went 10-7. One of my friends had a parlay going on for Myles Turner to grab 9 rebounds or more. I said, against Anthony Davis, you're fucking lucky if that happens. I'd be shocked if he gets more than 8. And sure enough, his parlay busted because of that. But it's just the idea, it's pretty obvious this team, A, needs defense, and B, needs a secondary star. Now, with that being said, that the team needs a secondary star, Adrian Wojnarowski, before the game even started, stated that the Pacers have made multiple offers to the Raptors about OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. Then a report came out also on Twitter out of NBA Central, not the fake account, not the NBA Central, or whatever the fuck it is, because there is a meme account going around with pretending to be NBA Central, but NBA Central is usually pretty accurate. I don't know who it is that's running the account, but they clearly have league insider information and stuff like that. But after the game, it came out that said the Pacers front office is looking to add a big two-way wing to the roster at the trade deadline or in the trade market. So at least we know that after the loss last night, that the Pacers understand now, or the front office understands, that Tyrese Halliburton needs also a co-star. So being that it's specifically a big two-way wing, the only people I could really think of is Pascal Siakam, Jeremy Grant maybe, or Paul George, or OG Anunoby isn't really I don't know. I'm not sold on OG Anunoby. I know a lot of Pacers fans are. I think the only reason they are, though, is because he played in Indiana in college. But like it's just the idea, like I'm not entirely sold on OG Anunoby. I really don't think he's ever going to be like a true number 2. He's a good player, but I just don't like to me he's kind of on the same level as Aaron Nesmith. It's just his offense is a little more polished. Because I watched him play against the Charlotte Hornets the other night, and he looked lost. He shot like 3 of 12. The Raptors as a team shot 19% from 3, which fucked up my entire parlay. So yeah, I'm just gonna be honest, like I'm not entirely sold on OG Anunoby. He's still a good player, but does he move the needle for us? Not a whole lot. And even Pascal Siakam, I'm a little weary on because, like, if you looked up his career numbers and compared him to Julius Randle, they're damn near fucking identical. Now, I will say this, Pascal Siakam, I think, is a better player than Julius Randle, but it's just the idea, like, I don't know if he's a guy that I'm going to want to spend $300 million on, okay? Like, granted, if the Raptors trade him, that's not going to happen. But it's just the idea, like, I really don't know. Like, I don't know who the Pacers can actually target because now it's obvious that they're like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna go get Tyrese Haliburton some fucking help. But I do think the most likely trade candidates are OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. Honestly, with the Los Angeles Clippers, it really depends on how they play the rest of the year. Like the next month, actually, about the next month or so, next month and a half or 2 months is going to be very telling and going to be very important for the Clippers. But yeah, the Pacers are now looking to make a trade. So I don't know, man. Like this, and honestly, like a lot of guys on the team, like I'm not sold on Miles Turner. I feel like if we would have to make a trade for Pascal Siakam, or if we wanted to, they would want like Andrew Nembhard and Miles Turner. And I don't necessarily know if Pascal Siakam justifies that type of return. Like I can understand Andrew Nembhard. I could even understand Buddy Hield to an extent. But if we do send them Miles Turner, like we would have to get Jakob Poeltl back. Or something like that, or something in that vicinity, or of that structure, because we can't simply play Pascal Siakam out there at center. Even though he is a good defender, you're kind of really taking a serious risk putting him out there at center. Like he's pretty much a traditional, like he's a point forward or power forward. He's not a traditional center. So I really don't know how that would even work, but it's nice to know that they're actually out there exploring trade ideas. Honestly, against the Lakers, Bennedict Mathurin looked pretty good too. I will say that I had Bennedict Mathurin in my parlay to score more than 15 because the one thing I like about Bennedict Mathurin, even though he's been kind of stagnant this year, he's obviously hit kind of like a sophomore slump in kind of a way. He's a guy that at least I know in games like that against the Lakers or like games that have some type of importance to them, it seems like Bennedict Mathurin rises to the occasion in those games. Just if we could get that all the time, you know what I'm saying, it would be a lot better. But Jarris Walker, I think he's not really even seeing much play. I'm to the point now, I'm almost wondering if like the Pacers front office, like I think they sent him down to the G League. Don't quote me on that, but it seems like they have sent him down to the G League and are like maybe doing it to give him some confidence, or they're just going to keep him there for a year. I don't know what the deal on that's going to be, but this is a team that really needs help on defense, and they also need a secondary star. And, I've been saying it for a while. Nobody wants to fucking listen to me, but, when you play games like this, when you play games against the Lakers and the Bucks and the Celtics, as much as people want to say defense doesn't matter now because our fucking offense is so good, defense matters, okay? Defense matters in games like that because we saw what happens when you don't play defense, okay? You get Anthony Davis putting up 20, 40 and 20, and then you get LeBron putting up 24 and 11, then you get Austin Reeves having a fucking Jordan-like flu game, okay? Like, I don't think people understand. Austin Reeves was bedridden before yesterday. Like, he's been sick for like 3 fucking days. Decided he was gonna play, okay, against the Pacers and put up 28. Okay? Like, the dude hasn't played, I don't even think he's been to practice in 3 days, and he came out here and scored 28. Like, you just can't have those things. It sucks, too, because, like, when I watch them play, I'm like, the only guy, it seems, that is, like, a bona fide defensive powerhouse on our team is, like, Aaron Nesmith. That seems to be it. And, even Bruce Brown, Like Obi Toppin's pretty good too. I will give Obi Toppin some credit. Obi Toppin's pretty good defensively, but everyone else, it's kind of like, it's hot and cold whether they're going to come out and be a good defender or not. So I don't know, man. You know what? The in-season tournament was fun to watch. I'm a little annoyed that Tyrese Haliburton didn't win MVP. Ben Mathurin played pretty well in the final game. Wish he would play a little bit more consistent, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Yeah, it seems like the Pacers are finally like realizing, oh shit, like this is the thing too. That in-season tournament is just a preview of what the playoffs are gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? Like that was also part of what I think the in-season tournament was, is to give like teams kind of a taste of what playoff basketball is going to be like playing against the teams that are good. So like teams like the Pacers, who are on a pretty good run, an up-and-coming team can say, okay, like, we need to make some changes, right? And that's what I think I think that's what the most valuable part of the in-season tournament is, if you want to be honest with you, is the idea that, you could be a team like the Pacers where, maybe you overperform and you play better than people expect, and you get to the final game and you finally understand, like, okay, this is how they're going to play us in the playoffs, if this is how they're going to play us in the in-season tournament finals. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I just hope if the Pacers do trade for somebody, it's somebody good. Like, DeMar DeRozan is out there. But the thing is, DeMar DeRozan's 34, and I really don't know how much he's about defense anymore as he is about offense. That's the other thing. It's like, really the Pacers can really only go after guys that are potentially out there, or guys who don't want to play for the team they're playing for anymore. And there's not many of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, DeMar DeRozan's out there. Jeremy Grant's out there. Who else? Paul George and Kawhi Leonard potentially. OG Anunoby's out there. Zach LaVine is out there, but he's not really a two-way guy. He's not really a defensive guy at all. And Pascal Siakam's out there also. So I'm assuming the Pacers are going to go after Pascal Siakam. Like, if I were a betting man, I'm going to assume it's Pascal Siakam is the guy they're trying to get. And maybe they run it down to the trade deadline and make something happen, which I think is a possibility. But I find it, I haven't really looked at any trades, but I feel like it's going to be very hard to get Pascal Siakam without giving up Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, or Miles Turner or Buddy Hield. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see. But tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I like it. Helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.